What's going on, DigiNerds? We got David here, and I am accompanied by two special guests today. We don't have Inferno in the house, but we do have two special guests today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves real quick.
Hi, my name's Tyler. I'm the Lugumon player you might have seen playing on the channel every once in a while. One of the two people that it takes to replace Dante.
This is Chris, the winner of this week's local. So hopefully they put that up soon. After my ass got kicked in the blue flare match that was posted.
Yeah, so join us today. Thank you guys for joining us in the absence of Inferno. I know that Tyler will be joining us from here on out as a permanent member of DigiNerds, so go ahead and welcome him. And Chris, in the works of maybe something happening. But so far, let's go ahead and talk about everyone's local experience. We'll leave Chris for last, the champion for last. So, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right, so I went, I believe it was 2-2, and in round one, I played David with Red Hybrid. I was playing Lugumon myself, and I was just rolling high. Like, we were just getting analog use and missed memory boosts, and it was just going crazy. I believe I got that one 2-1. And then I played, who did I play second? Oh, it was you. I played Chris in round two and lost. That Digi-Police deck, or I guess I should say D-Brigade, with just a little bit of the new stuff sprinkled in. It's nasty. Round three, I played Grace Nova. It was my first time ever playing against that deck. And it's not a good feeling because typically when I'm piloting Lugumon, I feel like I can beat anything. If I know what it does and how it's going, I can.
I think I lost you, Tyler. But anyway, he played Chris. Hopefully he comes back in soon. But I guess in the meantime, I'll kind of go over my what happened with my standings. I played like he said a minute ago. I played against Tyler round one, and he just steamrolled. It was kind of gross. When that happened, he steamrolled me game one. He opened almost perfectly. He had two missed min boosts, had then into a Lugumon in the back, and with everything going on, it was just he steamrolled me turn two push up, dead. That's essentially what happened. It was bad because then on my second turn, because I went first, I hit a edgy out of his security, and after that, it was kind of just man, he had me good. I was able to somehow get game two. I think he was just missing the Fenrir, the Lugumon, and I was just able to get it. He still tried to push up and get me game two, but I was able to get it. He just was missing that piece, and I was able to get the game. Game three, kind of more like how game one went, just kind of steamrolled. Then after that, so he got it 2-1. Then round two, I played against Machine Dramon, and with playing Red Hybrid, you kind of know that Machine Dramon just eats Red Hybrid alive. With their tamer popping and everything like that, it's kind of gross. So, I was able to force a game three. He steamrolled me game one. He got set up. Nothing I could do about it. Game two, he bricked hard because Machine Dramon still bricks like a MFer. And then game 3, he just got set up again and just completely annihilated. Round 3, I played against. I don't really know the name of this deck. Now that Tyler's back, he may find me. It's the bird deck, the Phoenix deck, the
Garudamon?
It's the Phoenixmon deck.
Phoenixmon. Okay, yeah, okay. I couldn't remember exactly what it's called. Phoenixmon, Garudamon, whatever it's called. I think that was Michael piloting that deck. It plays actually kind of similar to Red Hybrid. Not gonna lie, it was very interesting concept, like kind of fast like Red Hybrid, and kind of did some Red Hybrid-y things. Like most of your guys, some of your little guys are hybrids, and they digivolve on top of the tamers, and then it was very interesting, kind of fast. Like
and they really don't. And they really don't care if they get deleted.
Yeah, and it was a Red Hybrid-y feel like kind of deck, but I was he took game 1, and then I proceeded to take games 2 and 3. I don't know what happened game 1. I guess I just wasn't ready for what it did, and he got me. So I was able to get that in round 3. Got the win there. And then round 4. If you guys didn't know this, but Armor Rush just feels like an absolute Red Hybrid nightmare. It feels like a complete Red Hybrid counter. So if you want a deck that's kind of fun and cheap, and that just completely outs Red Hybrid, play Armor Rush. I had the new girl Brandy, I believe her name was, play me in round 4, and she completely annihilated me. She like put up the infinite blocker in the Magnamon X, and it was just gross. I couldn't do anything about it. Like, it was bad. I was like, infinite redirect. I was like, I got nothing for that. It was good.
Absolutely.
That was actually Jacob's deck. So props to him for building a deck so good that a new person could grab it and beat Red Hybrid.
Oh, really? That was Jacob's deck?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That deck was gross as Red Hybrid to play again. I know it's getting so much more support in BT16. I'm actually excited for that deck, to be honest. And it's going to just get even more gross and even better. And hey, Tanner, the birds.
It seemed like you cut out there for a second.
Say that again?
It seemed like you cut out there for a second.
I cut out?
Yeah. It may be on our end. Did you hear Tyler's whole
you guys,
no, so I think we're
dropped from the call.
Okay. So how much of his did you get to hear?
We didn't hear anything past round 2.
Round 2? Okay.
Okay. So round 2, I played Chris. He was running the D Brigade deck with a little bit of DigiPlease sprinkled in. And let me tell you, man, that thing is nasty. When you start getting 5 or 6 blockers out there in a turn, that's Fenry just has a hard time getting around it all.
Sounds like you would have a hard time with the Armor Rush deck too.
Yeah, probably. When things just don't want to die.
That infinite redirect. And then if it does die, it just goes to the security.
Yep.
Well, the infinite redirect I could probably handle because I'm swinging over him.
Yeah.
It's mostly just going to be whenever I try to unsuspend and things just don't die.
Yeah, because it didn't die, you wouldn't be able to unsuspend, and then also they would have just gained a security, so that would kind of be an annoyance.
Yeah, absolutely. Round 3, you guys are probably going to see this later on the channel this week. I'm playing against Grace Nova, piloting Lugamon, and it was the first time I'd ever played against a Grace Nova player. And I want you to know I was woefully unprepared for this guy to slap down Grace Nova at 19 KDP. Just with the fact that on the first swing, my Fenry would just run into it and die if he blocked, it was really hard to get around, especially not knowing that the deck could do that. So game 1, that's how he takes it. Game 2, I'm able to push past it, but I was really slow setting up, so I just didn't get that game. And then in round 4, I played Machine Dramon. doing Machine Dramon stuff with their analog youths. I'm sorry, analog mans. However, I just outsped the deck and took the win. And that's all 4 rounds, right?
Yep, that's it.
Nice. All right, Chris, our champion for the week. Tell us about your locals.
So I was running the Digi Police / D Brigade. I still run mostly D Brigade. I just think that it's more consistent that way, but I really do like sprinkling in a little bit of that green for suspending stuff. And then that Mega, I'm using him at 2, and I bottom decked so many things with that this weekend. So that really came in handy, and I was seeing it every time I needed to. So, but game 1, I played Brandon with Machine, and the first game I just came out so fast he couldn't do anything. And then game 2, he flopped a big, long, giant Machine Dramon on the mat, and I couldn't get past it. I mean, I was just like, well, that's game, buddy, because the best I could do is DCD bomb, D-Digivolve at once, and then it's still just like 3 megas and 15 level 5s under that.
Yeah, the
so then
could be so gross.
So then we go to game 3, and then I just came out swinging again. Like if it comes out too fast, he has 1 analog man, and I have 6 bodies. You can only redirect so much. So then we went to game 2, and I played Tyler's Lugamon. Game 1, I actually thought he had the win. Like he came up with all of his pieces, with all of his play outs, and then he started swinging for the stack, and he hit a DCD bomb. And because Fenry Lugamon was D-Digivolve, it just became my turn because he doesn't hold turn anymore.
Yep.
And then I just swung away.
It's not a lingering effect. It's a card effect.
Yeah. So like as soon as it's still his turn while I have 2 memory with Fenry on board. But as soon as the Fenry was D-Digivolved, it's my turn at 2 now.
It's a hurtful thing to have happen.
And I was kind of like stunned because like I D-Digivolved for the Fenry, and then I'm like, well, what are you going to do now? You got to end turn. And then I like look at the gauge, and I was like, oh yeah. And then game 2, I think I just came out quicker than he could get set up, which it happens. And then game 3, I played Jason with his Yellow Vaccine Shine Greymon mix. And that was tough. The first game, I can't remember if it was the first or second game, I came out too fast. And then the opposite, he just wiped me before I could even get set up. And we went into game 3, and game 3 was crazy. I would make a mega, and he would DP reduce it by 12 and kill it. And so then I would just go up, make another mega, go into the green one and bottom deck his mega. And we did that back and forth for 3 to 4 turns before he just ran out of material and had to start laying rookies. And then I was able to just get past them and win finally. But that was a tough one. Honestly, I thought he had me a couple of times.
Man, I wish we could have got that one on camera. That one sounds like it's
honestly, that one would have been a really good one to have, honestly. And then I went to the finals, which we will have on camera, against Victor with the Grace Nova, and that was also tough. Our first game took so long that like as soon as we started game 2, y'all were like, y'all got 5 minutes, and I was like, well, okay. I won game 1, so I kind of was like, well, I either win or we draw. There's like no way I can lose here. But I really wanted to win. I didn't want to have to have a draw for the winner of the night. But he kept on stunning my stuff with that basically Sorai effect of the Dianamon, and it was so funny. I had a guy in the back, and he had wiped my field except for 1 Cargo Dramon, and then he did the Dianamon effect, and then he ended turn and went into Grace Nova. So he had 1 big blocker. I had my little guy in the back, the Cargo Dramon that couldn't swing because he had no inheritables, and I had 3 memory. So I slide up and I asked him, I said, so if this guy digivolves, he can attack, right? And he said, yeah. And Timmy was sitting right next to him, and I only had 3 memory. And he said, well, if he digivolves, he's going to pass turn because all my guys digivolve for 4. And I was like, yeah, Timmy, but I don't roll that way. So I digivolved the rookie into High Commandramon, swing, use the baby's inherited to put 3 cards on top, then reveal the 3 cards with the High Commandramon effect, play out Thoughtsky for free. He has to block the Commandramon because it's for game, and then I just mine the link under the cargo and swing. And Timmy's face, he was just like, what? That was the highlight of my night. That was awesome. And y'all do have that on camera.
That's good. Yeah, I can't wait to actually sit down and watch that one. First to record that match commentary. Sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah, congrats, Chris, on your first place this week. With the new deck, and then
Thank you.
I think it was Victor. It was Victor that got second place with Grace Nova, and then I think Dante got third with Shine Gray, and then our boy Tanner getting fourth with Levia X. I think that's kind of wraps up locals. So I think our kind of topic this week is mostly about looking at the future of Digimon, kind of looking at JP's meta, kind of looking at future sets, kind of what we're excited about, and kind of just going from there. But to kind of recap for this weekend, because we had our first BT15 event, which was the Ultimate Cup that happened over the weekend. Actually, where this is pre-ban list, so I was actually very surprised to see what won. Well, kind of. It was Numamon that took first place, that went 9-0. Kind of shocker, especially since in the top 16 there were 8 Apoclymon.
Wow.
Yeah, there were 8 Apoclymons in the top 16. Yeah. 3 Numamons made it in the top 16. There were 2 Metal Garuru X's, 2 Red Hybrids, and 1 Lugamon. So that was the top 16 breakdown for over this weekend from the Top Cut event. That was it's kind of surprising to see Numamon up there. I mean, I've seen results where Numamon was doing great in Japan, especially in BT16. I didn't think it was going to do so good in BT15 here, but apparently it does. Even without the stuff from BT16, it still is apparently going to do really good here. It just showed that it can beat Apoclymon, apparently. So maybe they didn't have to hit Apoclymon, but at the same time, with it taking 8 of the 16 spots, they probably needed it.
Yeah, that Numamon does some crazy stuff, especially if you don't know what it does. Because I've lost a few matches just because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what it did, and then I was like, oh, well, I guess I lose.
Yeah, which kind of surprising enough, in JP and their nationals per se, they had a Numamon finals, and Numamon obviously took first place for their national. So, but that was a BT16 format, I'm pretty sure.
But
it's kind of very interesting that happened like that.
With the majority of the pieces already being out, and most of the stuff that we get in 16 is just tech, like the Valkyrie Mons. The deck's already slapping. I personally run a version with a purple bottom because you don't really care to digivolve into the champions, so you're just rushing with stuff like Gabumon, Ukomon, and then you're just playing your champions to get super card advantage. You run a Demi Marimon that on deletion you trash to level 5 or higher to draw 2 cards, get more card advantage. The Girimon, you trash a Numamon to draw 2 cards, and then there's also a Numamon that lets you search 3 cards. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and And kind of looking at the Latin America side for their Ultimate Cup that also happened this weekend, same format, BT15. Theirs looks completely different than ours. They had in their top 16 breakdown, they had 6 Apocalymon, then 4 Anubismon, 2 Beelzemons,
Oh wow.
one Wargray, 1 Shine Gray, 1 Numamon, and 1 Red Hybrid. And Anubismon actually took the win over in Latin America, with
And
second place followed by Beelzemon.
and that's pre-ban list Anubis.
Yep, free ban list.
Yeah.
So full power Anubis and full power Apocalymon are both in this format.
Yeah.
And Anubismon took the win, and then Apocalymon didn't even get second place. Second place was Beelzemon.
I was just running that earlier, and it is still so good.
Yeah, so Beelzemon's showing that it can compete against these top end decks, that are supposedly supposed to blow out our meta. That makes it an unplayable meta, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But still, Pokemon took third and fourth place, and again, still took 6 of the top 16 spots. The most represented deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of spots.
Yeah, and then Anubismon, didn't play around either. I mean, it took 4 of those top 16 spots, and ended up winning the event. So I mean, Anubismon definitely showing out, for sure. I mean, it won our Nats, and then now it's winning this Latin America event.
Mhm.
It's showing that it definitely needed to get hit.
Absolutely.
I'd heard the main reason that they hit it wasn't even because of the Anubismon. I mean, not the Anubis, but the Apocalymon deck that we got, but because of the crazy tech that people were putting in it. Because if you put any level 6 with an on play effect under it, it gains that. So you could put all of the Royal Knights under it and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. You could run any level 6 in there that's just really good, put it underneath there, and then now you gain that effect, as long as you just put it in the trash. So you're running, it's a purple deck by nature, so you're running some of those purple cards that allows you to just put stuff in the trash, do this huge trashing going, and then just every turn put a level 6 underneath and get that effect from your trash.
Yeah. Because I think that if people just played it with just the stuff that came out with it, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, just be a mill deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but I think one of the biggest reasons why they said that Pokemon was so disgusting to play against was because they were taking that BT13 Royal Knight Cranium on in there, making it unaffected by Digimon effects.
I'm looking at
which is kind of huge. And then they were running that one of those other, I forget the name of the card, but like Digivolts 3 something. It's like
Ultimate Flare.
Maybe
The Ultimate Flare would be
it's a
an
level
option.
6.
It's the Digimon.
Chaos Dramon.
Yeah, I think so. That may be what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Chaos Dramon will do it because when you play or Digivolve into Chaos Dramon, he grabs 3 level 5s, and for each one he Digivolves 1.
Yeah, it's either that. No, this is the card I'm thinking of. Sorry, I'm thinking of completely different. The Metallic Dramon, where you Digivolve 1 of all of your opponent's Digimon.
Okay.
From the Dragon Links deck.
Yeah, from the Dragon Links. That's what I'm thinking. No, I would think of it.
Yeah, that's really good too.
Yep.
Just Digi, like that's the top half of Death X.
Yep, that's exactly right. Just all of their Digimon Digivolve by 1. So, I mean, that's a very, interesting tech card in there. And, just in general, the deck definitely still just disgusting, which is, again, why it got hit. And then kind of moving on from that this weekend, we had kind of the break. I kind of have the breakdown of what was good, kind of the results from BT16 results in Japan. Now this is I'm looking at specifically after their ban list. So this is after Anubis or Apocalymon and Anubis got hit. Kind of what their format looked like, because it's kind of more or less what ours will kind of look like.
Mhm.
Right.
So, the kind of the top 10 decks by results, you had the Magnamon Armor deck with 37 wins. We
Oh, wow.
had the Imperial Dramon deck in second place with 30 wins. We had Rapidmon Armor deck with 27 wins. There was the Numamon deck that tied that with another 27 wins. And then there was the in fifth place. I don't really know about this deck. This Tyrant Kabuterimon deck with 26 wins.
It's going to go with all of the Tentamon support we just got.
Okay. And then in sixth place, tying with that was Yellow Vaccine with 26 wins. Then in seventh place, kind of drops off with Fenrir Lugamon at 17. Then next is Grace Novamon with nine wins. Then Digipolice with another 9 wins. And then the last spot, the 10th spot, was Red Hybrid with 8 wins. So,
Red Hybrid just won't die.
yeah, Red Hybrid won't die. And it's one of those things where, I tried it out this weekend, and I think I was trying more of the Rookie Rush version of it, which I definitely wasn't a big fan of. I may try it out again as a different kind of style to it, but overall, I'm not a big fan of the deck. It's not really my play style.
The Rookie Rush version was more hitting before the second set of their stuff came out. When you just had the one Takuya and you just wanted to fill your trash up as fast as possible to warp into Emperor, that was the Rookie Rush way. Now everybody actually digivolves.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And but
Until
anyway.
they see the Uka anyway.
Yeah, that's if you're playing it. So I wasn't even in my version. I wasn't even playing the Bukamon.
Yeah, they speed it up a little bit, but they're also, if they die, that's not a piece in your trash. So it's a give and take. But yeah. I think that most people are liking it that are using
it. Tanner said Vmon fans are eating well in BT16. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the absolute truth, Tanner. It's that deck is crazy. Whether it be the Magnamon deck or Imperial Dramon deck, it's kind of crazy. They're definitely eating well because Vmon's definitely played in both those decks. Just from those results that we were just looking at from JP, just from that small time period. I think this is from January 5th to January 22nd was kind of this time frame for these results, and so it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting for both the top two decks to be Vmon decks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so it kind of gives us an idea of what our meta could shape to kind of look like. Not, our meta is normally a little bit different, but this kind of gives you an idea of what people, may be looking to play as some of the best decks.
Well, it seems to me that decks that don't have a really big skeleton and usually have more spaces to tech in, it seems that those decks float a little bit higher over here than they do in JP.
Yeah, and I think the main reason why we don't even see the Biomon deck on here is because I think people were tired of purple and wanted to get away from it, just because of their format had been heavily dominated purple format for so long, and so I think that's why you're seeing such a vast display of different decks that mostly aren't purple.
Yeah, I could see that.
So just because they're so tired of it, because they've been playing purple decks as the best decks since EX5, and so I think they were a little tired of it and didn't want to even play purple anymore, since purple essentially got nerfed into the ground. So I think that kind of shows why there's such this big increase, but at the same time, these decks are probably going to be good no matter what.
Yeah.
But
especially if they're competing in the meta where the Apocalypse are. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, these ones, this is after that ban list. So this is after Pokemon got hit. going forward, we got the BT16 set coming up. So what are you guys excited about out of coming out of BT?
So for me, I'm a Fenrir Lugumon player. I'm excited about this Dino Beamon. I'm gonna need at least at least 6 copies of that alt art alone. For my Red Purple Imperial, and then also for Fenrir. I'm also really looking forward to the Rapidmon X vaccine deck. Feel like it's gonna be bonkers.
I'm a Vmon guy. I have the Imperial deck and the armor deck already, so I will be getting that stuff. It seems to me, in my opinion, all of the lower level things in this set are just bad, but then the ultimates and megas are all amazing. So I'm gonna need a lot of ultimates and megas, and a lot of them have really nice alt art. So it's gonna be an expensive set.
Your wallet's gonna be hurting, is what you're saying.
Yeah, my wallet was hurting from BC15. Everyone else was like, "We don't even want this set," and I was like, "I need every alt art." Why?
Speaking of 15, 16, and alt arts, what do you think of the blacked out alt art, David?
The blacked out alt art? I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
They're instead of having a fancier art, it's like a black card with a gold or silver outline of the character. It almost looks like a championship winner's card or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. I don't think particularly myself, I like the vibrant colors of an alt art, kind of like what makes them an alt art, like the different art style. So I like to see the artist behind the card, but I can see that being appealing for some way. But as far as that goes, I think I would prefer the art.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And I'm all about the picture. There's plenty of cards that I just refuse to get the alt art for because I think the regular looks better. Like the Leviamon X. I don't run that deck at all. But if I was going to, I would just want the regular arts. I would trade you alt arts to give me the regular.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of how Leviamon, the regular Leviamon, kind of just, I don't know, it just didn't look that appealing. I definitely like regular Leviamon a little.
Yeah, and there's others like that, but usually they do really well on making the alt cooler. I'm really excited for 16 on the Valkyriemon and the Sylphimon alt arts. They both look really good to me.
Yeah,
and then so far, any of the decks that have the SOC or Mind Link traits, their alts have been amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you look at just the Fenrir deck, that deck is beautiful. It's alt arts. Those alt arts are good.
Yeah, those alt arts, the Digi Police alt arts, the Marvin Jackson that just came out, all of those are just really good. They went above and beyond on those alt arts compared to some of the other ones that are just is this an alt? I can't tell.
Yeah, no, I know exactly how you feel. Those textured ones that sometimes just look almost very similar to it could be just a regular one.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure. So other than that, I'll kind of give my input on what I'm excited for. I'm definitely excited for the Armor Rush deck in 16, and I definitely want to. I may put my toe in the Imperial Digimon deck. I mean, I have all the Imperial Digimon stuff. I do like the deck. I'm not so sure I want to play it. I'm still kind of playing around with the idea.
Would you go green blue or red purple?
I would definitely go green.
Examon player.
Exactly. I figured out that I've definitely liked the green playstyle a little bit more. So definitely, I do like.
I do too. I like the green playstyle, but it seems like I don't really care for decks that are completely green.
Like Bloomlord?
Yeah, I don't like Bloomlord at all, but I do like Imperial, and I do like the little bit of green added to the Digi Police, and just having that ability to suspend stuff that's annoying to you
Mm-hmm.
is really nice. But I don't need that to be the only thing that my deck does.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it makes sense. You just like the splash of it, which
Yeah,
is fair. It's a fair point. Kind of speaking of that, Tanner said that he's gonna have plenty of deck profiles and matches. We get there because he's got both Imperial Dramon armors built.
nice.
So he's looking to put some stuff on for the channel, I'm assuming. But other than that, I mean, there's in 16, there's, you get your yellow support. It's going to be a little bit good because by that time we'll have that double Typhoon deck, which
Oh,
does helps the what's that deck?
The Alliance deck,
Yeah, the
and,
Alliance deck.
and also the Rapidmon.
Yeah, the Rapidmon, plus it's got the new Magnamon in there.
and all the Rapidmon armors have vaccine in the traits, so they're splashable in the Patamon deck.
Yep, the yellow vaccine deck. Yep, you're absolutely right. So this 16 format looks to be like it's going to be very interesting and very fun. Kind of revitalizing some of those older strategies and, making some of the ones that we just got even, which is, kind of nice. And hopefully we can find something that just obliterates Numemon. Apparently it's going to be a deck that's have to be able to beat it.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain. It and the Poopmon deck are both like just crazy.
Yeah, the Edamon deck, that deck is kind of
Yeah,
wild. It does some wild
like
things.
like if you know exactly what they do, I don't think it would be that bad. But because nobody pays attention to them, and then you sit across from it and it just starts popping off, and you're like, you just did what?
Yeah, it's kind of like that Yu-Gi-Oh syndrome. Like you don't read the cards, which you probably should be doing.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're in a competitive sense, you should be looking at the card and reading it rather than just being reactive.
No, I play TCGs. I don't read cards.
Oh, it definitely helps because I know whenever I sit across from a deck that I don't know, I just immediately feel like unprepared and like I'm fighting an uphill battle at that point.
It's absolutely a disadvantage.
No, yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of like the point for wanting to play the deck. You play a deck that's good, but most people don't know about it, and then you get easy wins just because they don't know what you do and
Yeah,
they didn't prepare for it because it's one of those rogue decks that can easily beat some of the tier 1 decks, especially if they don't know what they're playing against.
oh yeah, and if everybody's preparing to specifically fight 2 or 3 decks, and your deck just isn't one of those 2 or 3, then they have no text for you, and you can just come out of nowhere.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think that's why Beelzemon's still good. Nobody's prepping for it, and then it has 10 deletion cards in the security stack.
Well, there's a difference there. So it's not that the difference there is that people know what Beelzemon does. They may not be preparing for it, but they at least know what it does.
Yeah,
The other
yeah,
the other side of the coin is that you don't know what it does, so you're very ill prepared for it.
yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, like in a sense of preparing for specific decks, I don't think most people consider it anymore.
That's true. That's true. Which I don't understand why, because obviously it can still do well, especially since it topped in the Latin America. Uh, while Apocalypse was at full power and Anubismon were at full power, it got second place. So
Yeah,
it's not a dead deck. People just aren't playing it.
And
absolutely.
it's still getting support.
Yeah, no,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
Speaking
Was
of
that
which, it's
is
that
that 16?
EX6. No, that's going to be EX6.
Yeah, that that Digivolve on play. I want him for sure with Rush.
Yeah, he gets Rush and then he Digivolves on play. He's so disgusting. He becomes in
Oh
that
yeah,
new Seven Great
7
Demon
D.
Lords deck. Yep, he's in that. That deck is gross. If you don't know
Yeah.
about it. Deck is gross. I think JP just started that format, so they're barely into it. So, as far as I know, there's probably been a few events, but not many, as far as I know. So we'll have hopefully more information to come with that to kind of see how that deck performs. Kind of a road nighty deck, but 7 Great Demon Lords.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how that ranks over there.
Oh yeah, for sure. But speaking of coming up sets, looking at I think we had some stuff for some new released cards that we were talking about the other day from BT17. Some of these dropped cards. I think Tyler had some of them up.
Yeah, I've got some of them pulled up here. Since we are getting a little tight on time, I'm just going to stick to the secret rares and higher. So first up, we've got Gallantmon Crimson Mode Ace. If you guys thought Gallantmon was dead, it is absolutely not. On play, when Digivolving, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 15,000 or less and delete them. When attacking, once per turn, for every 10 cards in both players' trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's security stack.
That's kind of crazy.
That's insane because the Gilmons and Growlmons and all that have inheritables that will buff that 15,000.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, it does what regular Crimson Mode does, but adds that extra DP deletion to it, which is kind of crazy because, Crimson Mode already, trashes one, then trashes another one for every 10 cards in their opponent's trash. And then now you're adding that to the Ace that also deletes something, deletes up to 15K worth of stuff. Like, that's insane.
Not only that, but where the old Crimson Mode was only counting your opponent's trash, this one's counting yours and your opponent's. So those, so those red, purple Growlmons and War Growlmons that are milling stuff off the top of the deck, they're getting even better.
That's great.
Not only that, you're like, because it's an ace, your opponent's not even going to be able to swing. Like, I don't care how big you are. If you swing, you die. I'm just going to ace on your turn and kill your guy.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And, that's something to bring up. I think that deck that card I think is actually going to get played in Red Hybrid, as disgusting as that sounds. Because I could see a world where they go Emperor Gray, swing for all of your health. I'm not able to kill you. Your turn, you swing. All right, you're not ready for it. I'm going to Crimson Ace you, pop your stuff, and then, if you had any security left, it's gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Red Hybrid stays strong.
Yeah, and then the fact that, in the 17, they're getting some red-purple hybrids support with it. Like, that deck is going to be disgusting because you're going to now be able to tech in some of those purple cards to allow you to mill a little bit faster to get to your warp play even sooner.
Think about calling in hybrids. Calling from darkness in Red Hybrid.
Because that's exactly how I felt on Saturday when I played it. Like, if this deck had a little bit more trashing ability, like, it would be disgusting. It'd be even faster.
You just play a couple of the 1-cost trash 3s, and then you go mega.
Exactly.
Turn 1.
I mean, it's so disgusting.
Wow.
Just the thought of what the Red Hybrid will become. The fact that it's getting more support and it's still doing well. It hasn't got support in a while.
So next up, we have Shine Greymon Burst Mode Ace, and Chris has a hot take on this one, so I'll let him have the read.
So, hand counter blast Digivolve. On play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Then for every one of your Tamers, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. When attacking, by suspending up to 2 of your yellow tamers. For every tamer this effect suspended, this Digimon gets security attack +1 for the turn.
Golly.
So
That's pretty good.
It's good, but because it specifically says yellow tamers, and here's the thing, I've played Shine quite a bit. It's a little bricky for me, but I still love it. I just wouldn't take it to a big tournament. If you go burst mode, you win. So this card's kind of weird to me because if I have Shine Greymon on the field and it's my turn, I can go into the current burst mode for free and I just win the game. With this card, to go into it on your turn, you have to pay to Digivolve. You can only blast Digivolve for free. So I would have to pass the turn to you to use this card when if I'd have had the old one, I just win. And the way that it specifically states yellow tamers, I think this thing's going in yellow vaccine. I don't think it's for Shine Greymon at all.
That is kind of a hot take. I do agree with you. It's a little lackluster compared to the current blast mode, to be completely honest, because I wholeheartedly agree. You definitely go into the red one, you're winning the game. This one, I guess you could say it adds a little bit more, I don't even want to say aggression. I guess it adds aggression for your Shine Greymon, but at the same time, I think you may be right. It could be just for that yellow vaccine, just because yellow vaccine will be running a crap ton of just yellow tamers.
And because they're also coming out with a all yellow Marcus Agumon.
Oh, really?
And all that stuff's vaccine. So I just think that it's for a separate deck, like a whole yellow vaccine version. I don't see it being good in just a completely Shine deck.
That makes
At
sense.
least not the one that we currently.
At least not the one that we currently know.
That's fair. There may be some new cards that they release down the way that kind of change the style of the Shine Greymon that we do and make it a more yellow deck instead of a red deck. Because if you look at it, he's only a yellow card. He doesn't even have the red in him. He's just yellow, pure yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the Agumon. That's what I'm saying. So like they're either just feeding you some Shine stuff to go in yellow vaccine, or they're building a whole separate like new different Shine deck for us.
Yeah, which they very well could be. But what I want to hear is read that Imperial Dramon.
Oh, we're saving that one for last.
I'll
all
save
right?
that one for last. Okay. Sorry.
So next up is the Omnimon Ace. DNA Digivolve level 6 with Greymon in name, plus a level 6 with Garurumon in name. Cost 0. Hand counter blast DNA Digivolve, War Greymon plus Metal Garurumon, and then the effects are Raid and Blocker. On play when Digivolving, if DNA Digivolving, choose one opponent's Digimon and return the chosen Digimon and all of your opponent's Digimon with the same level to the bottom of the deck. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon.
So it can DNA with any Greymon or Garurumon level 6, but it can only blast DNA with specifically War Greymon and Metal Garurumon.
Yes.
That just makes it kind of lackluster.
So you can use it in that black Omni deck, but I don't think you will. So they're going to have to give us a whole new line of stuff for this.
It seems very lackluster, to be completely honest. Definitely compared to some of these other ones.
Well, I guess
it's a DNA one, and you have to have 2 of these specific Digimon on the board to be able to blast Digivolve. I mean,
well, actually, the way Blast Digivolve works is you only need to have one of the Digimon on board, and you need to have the other one in hand, as well as Ace.
Yeah, so
that makes it better. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have War Greymon on the field and you have Metal Garurumon and this Omnimon in your hand, then you can blast DNA for free.
Tanner just said there is a new line getting printed.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
The only other option would have been to give us a black-red Wargreymon and a black-red Metal Garurumon to just stick on top of that black Omni deck.
Yeah. We've actually gotten the Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon spoiled already. Once we get through with the Imperial, we can get to that. I think we should have enough time.
Okay, go ahead.
You guys ready for Imperial?
I'm ready.
All right. So Digivolve on a level 6 with Imperial Dramon in name for a cost of 5. All right. Hand counter Blast Digivolve on play when Digivolving. Trash any one Digivolution card of all of your opponent's Digimon. Then return one card from your or your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck. If this effect returned a level 7 card, gain 3 memory. When attacking, by returning one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck, unsuspend this Digimon.
Oh, he's bad.
Absolutely.
And I mean bad in a good way.
Yeah, like that's one bad Mamma Jamma right there.
Yeah. Because the old one had that weird effect of by placing another white level 7, but this one doesn't have that white in it. So just any level 7 from yours or your opponent's trash.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy already.
So if they have any of the burst modes over there or any of these new aces over there, we're getting 3 memory and still in turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely, it makes you think that they may actually be printing a new Paladin mode than like just regular Paladin mode, so that it be for this with this ace in the same set. It looks like it hasn't been disclosed yet or talked about in this comment form. Looks like just from the sounds of it, there's going to be.
Well, they're also redoing that same like ghost rare paladin mode that they did in 14. So they may just be wanting you to use that old one.
Okay, that does make sense. That does make sense. Tanner just said, "My boys here, a good paladin mode has been released."
The only thing that's scary to me is they are giving us a fighter mode ace, and if you went fighter mode ace and then went paladin mode ace and it got killed, they would just get so much memory.
On top of the dragon.
They would get like what? Is that 9 memory?
Yeah, and then if you did by chance, if you were crazy enough to also use dragon mode ace.
Oh my gosh.
I'm at 10. I'm at 10 and I die, and now you're at 10.
However, I do think it will probably be hard to kill that paladin mode ace. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
like, if they put that bad boy out, you're probably losing.
You should be, because they should have already done their turn as fighter mode, passed it to you, and then stole turn back. They should be swinging for game.
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it.
And then just to be able to unsuspend it by returning one of your Digimon to the bottom of the deck.
That's what I'm saying. So like after you've already fighter moded, you still turn and you've got a guy that double taps, there should be no reason that you didn't just win. Unless you're playing Yellow Vaccine and they have 32 security.
Sorry.
So Tanner actually just said one of the new tamers gives a bit of protection. And I think I found it. It's the new Davis and Ken tamer. It's actually a red blue tamer. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memories, set it to 3, and then all turns when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with the free trait would be deleted in battle. By suspending this tamer, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from its Digi-Evolution cards without paying the cost. End of your turn, if this Digimon with the free trait may attack opponent's Digimon.
Oh, so it basically gives everything partition.
Yeah, it gives it a little mini partition because the full partition would play out 2 level 4s.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not bad at all. And I can see people running that in just all kinds of decks because it doesn't say, like, does it say specifically free trait?
It does.
Okay, but you could still run it like in that Rapidmon vaccine deck because all of the Rapidmon, well, no, the Rapidmon stuff,
vaccine.
yeah, they're vaccine. They're not free though. So it'll just get used in Imperial and armor, and possibly like you could possibly use it in like some Hawkmon builds or Armadillomon, but that would be it.
Yeah, mostly season 2 cast.
I don't know if that's the specific one that he was talking about. That's the only one I found that it, remotely says anything.
Yeah, that's got to be it. But that is good protection. But it doesn't stop from that 32 memory game. If you're
That's the truth. It does not stop that, but it feels a little bit better if you lose your Digimon like that. Well, I think if it's a level 4 or lower. I mean, if you had like a level 4 ace, or what was it? Was it 4 or lower?
Yeah, level 4 or lower.
Okay. Well, then never mind, because I think the ace issue would probably be playing as a level.
Yeah. So I get to play my level 4, but you're at 10 memory, so please don't kill it.
So I do know that we are starting to get a little tight on time, but you guys wanted to look at the War Greymon and Metal Garurumon that got spoiled. Do we still have time for that?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll spend just the last little bit on that.
All right. So the War Greymon Digivolve on a level 5 with Greymon in a name for cost of 3. He's solid red. He plays for 11. He's got 11 KDP. And he Digivolves on red for 3. So when this card would be played, if you have a Tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name, reduce the cost by 3. On play when Digivolving, activate one of the effects below. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. Or one of your Gabumon may Digivolve into a Metal Garurumon in the hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying the cost.
Wow.
It also has an inherited. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Omnimon in its name, trash the top card of your opponent's security stat.
So it wants you to just play him out and then Digivolve the guy next to him. But it doesn't say anywhere that you get to Digivolve, like end of turn DNA.
Yeah, you can Digivolve the Gabumon for free if you Digivolve into the War Greymon.
Oh, if you Digivolve into him too. Okay, so you could Digivolve up and then keep turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, even still, there's cards for that deck that are going to have the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Or it could even be like Grace Nova. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be at the start of your opponent's turn, DNA Digimon.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah, Victor did that to me, and I was like, you did what?
Yeah, start of opponent's turn, I can DNA Digivolve. I
was like, excuse me, sir, it's my turn. Go ahead.
So the next up is the Metal Garurumon. Same setup. It's solid blue Digivolve on a level 5 with Garurumon in name for a cost of 3. It's going to Digivolve on blue for 3. When this card would be played, if you have a Tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, reduce the play cost by 3. On play when Digivolving, activate one of the effects below. One of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn, or one of your Agumon may Digivolve into War Greymon in the hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying the cost. And the inherited says, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Omnimon in its name, unsuspend this Digimon. So now we're making Omnimon double tap.
Is the crash when attacking on the Greymon once per turn?
I'm sorry? The when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has on the Greymon?
On the Greymon.
Yeah.
Okay. So you swing, trash 1, check 1, unsuspend, and then check 1 more. but that's just with them two. So then you also have like security attack plus 1 Greymon under you and stuff.
Right.
That's rude.
Yeah, that's very rude. I'll mention this just real quick. Tanner just said that he sent me the text about the card that he was talking about. Apparently, it's not a tank option. Green blue option.
Oh yeah.
It's a 2-cost option card. Return of the Ancestors. Main. One of your Digimon may digivolve into a level 5 or higher Digimon card with the free trait in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 4. Then place this card in the battle area. All turns. When one of your Digimon with the free trait would be deleted, other than by one of your effects, delay. By digivolving that Digimon into a Digimon card with Imperial Dramon in its name in the hand without paying the cost, prevent that deletion.
Silly.
Security effect. You may play one Tamer card with the Davis Motomiya or Kin Toji in its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then place this card in the back.
Is that not disgusting?
Now that's definitely disgusting.
I feel like we're gonna start getting rookies or effects that stop these delay cards because we're getting so many of them.
Like a floodgate for delays?
Yep.
Yeah. We need some kind of.
We've been getting so many of them here recently.
Biting Crush is eventually going to become a problem just because it hangs out there on the field.
Well, you can kind of, if you're knowing what your opponent's about to do with Biting Crush, I mean, if you have like the Floodgate Rookie by effects, I mean, you're already outing the Biting Crush.
Yeah, I just think we're gonna get some that say like, your opponent can't activate delay effects.
Yeah. Or something that might pop a delay option.
Yeah, and now that would be crazy if you just had your delay sitting out there and somebody digivolved and popped it off the field.
Yeah.
That would make you want to use them as soon as possible.
Yep. Because then at that point you'd be able to hit like the trainings and the
memory boosts. Yeah. But I see it coming because they're giving us so many of them. I see it. I see them giving an answer to it.
They're eventually going to have to.
Yeah, because I mean, currently there's nothing to stop that. I mean, you can stop the memory boost one, with the Floodgate Rookie, because the opponent can't gain memory except for with tamer effects, and then you can stop the training boost with the one that says you can't reduce Digivolution cost. But as far as delays go, I mean, they're not really.
So for the last card to spoil, we do have a Tai Kamiya and Matt Ishida team tamer, like double tamer. Oh, was it? No, that was the Davis and Ken.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, that is. Oh yeah, you're right. That's weird that there's there. So the picture of them on the site, the picture of them is above the Davis.
That's what I thought it was, but yeah, no, I give you
But yeah, if anybody, we don't actually have a translation for the Tai Kamiya and Matt Ishida yet. So if anybody can comment in the chat below a translation, we'll shout you out on the next podcast or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're at the hour and 5-minute marker, so we'll kind of wrap things up here. Tyler, do you have any last words?
Just looking forward to this weekend, especially BT16. I've learned today that Fenrir Lugamon's apparently tier 1.
Chris, any last words?
Just thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. And if anybody has anything that they want to hear in future podcasts, I'd say shoot it down in the comments so that these guys can read it and try to get all your info and stuff just to give ideas for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going forward, if you have anything to say, want us to see it, want us to do any sort of specific video or something a topic that you think should be mentioned in one of our podcasts, definitely let us know what you think in the comments so that we can kind of see it, respond to it, and maybe actually feature that that specific topic in one of our next podcasts. So other than that, we'll bid you guys a good evening or whatever time of day it is you're listening to this. This has been a Digimon podcast. DigiNerds